hello. Oh my God, yes, we are back. Lah. Are we back? I think we
Finally,
are back.
yes, we
Yes,
have.
it has been 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I can't
almost
remember. Yeah,
two
but
and a half weeks, I guess.
2.5 weeks. But yeah, COVID is over for me. Spoiler alert, I was the one who had it. And yeah, Avi is back. Avi, how are you, G?
I am good, Jay. How about you? I'm glad that you're out of COVID already. That is very important.
Yeah, it was a tough strain.
Mm.
Ironically, this was my incubation room as well. I was thinking of doing a stream from here, but I absolutely could not, lah. So, guys, I mean, just everyone get boosted, keep wearing your mask. It's the worst. Hopefully, is over. But I tell you what, it's not a fun thing to get, lah. This stupid thing knocked me on my ass for easily 1 week. But
Mm.
anyway, doesn't matter. Enough of the sad stuff. We've got an exciting show today. I think this is going to be a really fun match between Sabah and Terengganu. We're going to watch along with you guys, as always, on YouTube, on our Armchair Twitter, on Avi's Twitter. Yeah, so I think kickoffs in 15 minutes. But today's watch along is a bit different, lah.
Mm.
Avi, tell us why it's a bit different this time around.
Why is a bit different is because many of you guys have posted your thoughts, your opinions, and also questions when we ask you all to give your controversial take on some things related to football, whether it's local or international, you give a take, but most of it were local. So throughout the show, while watching the game, we will be addressing these thoughts and opinions. I hope we are sensible with what we say. And yeah, during the show also you can give your take on the game, and also if randomly you think of a controversial thing in your head, like for example, I give you all an example, doesn't mean it's true, Zinan is a flop. Suddenly you have these random thoughts, you just share it to us and we will try our best to answer them. So yeah, looking forward to today's show, and today's game also is going to be cool actually, if you ask me.
I mean, I must say it seems like we are pro Sabah channel lah, because all the matches, all the watch alongs are somehow involve the rhinos, but we are not. I promise we are
This
not.
is your responsibility, Logan. You are the culprit. That's all I can say.
I mean, no, look, so happens we are second in the table. So happens Terengganu play fantastic football. It was the
No, but
standout
to be
tie.
fair, why we decided to select this game is because it's the battle between second and fourth. So if Terengganu
Yeah.
wins, they slowly move to top three. And
Mm,
also
mm.
contrasting styles of play. That
Yes.
is one thing that we are going to notice in today's game. So we have Coach Kim Sui, who plays a very organized style, whereas Coach Nafuzizen is someone who loves possession football, someone who loves to make those intricate passes inside the box. The stubbornness to score that perfect goal. He seems
Mm.
to have it in him. So we have two coaches with two contrasting styles. So that's why I think we picked this game, lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So before we get to your what do you call your comments, your controversial hot takes, we will look at the lineups first, lah. Let's not forget the
Mm.
game. So hold on while it loads.
Ah, it's already in.
Wait, is
It's
it?
still
What?
loading for you, G.
It is still loading for me. Okay, there you go. All right.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
So your thoughts on the lineup for Sabah? What do you think so far?
Not much of a surprise. Maybe the return of, I mean, Irfan Fazail starting is kind of a surprise to me, but maybe coach has realized that he is strong enough to merit a starting 11 spot. And we all know Irfan Fazail during his days in Harimau Muda. He was a very mercurial playmaker, but at the same time, also heart and soul of the Harimau Muda team in terms of his work rate and so on. So I hope we're able to see that in today's game against Terengganu. Stuart Wilkin is also back. Last game he couldn't play because he's cup tight, because he's on loan from JDT. To those who are asking why he didn't play last week, so now he's back in the squad. Other than that, just the two changes. I believe Rabilson is in for Tommy Mawat. I guess Coach Kim Sui realizes that Faisal Alim is going to be a threat, whether left or right. So he needs a left back who is defensive minded, left back or right back. I mean, this one thing about Sabah's defense, they're quite versatile. So I think Rabilson is going to play on the left. So defensively, they're kind of sorted. So it looks a very balanced lineup, one that screams organization.
All right. And
Hmm.
what does Terengganu's team scream to you?
Attack, attack, attack.
Attack.
Yeah, looks pretty good lineup. Adib Zainuddin is starting today. He used to be the captain that won the silver medal in the 2017 SEA Games. To those
Mhm.
who don't know, so that is one fun fact about Adib Zainuddin, a very good defender. Now he's starting. Let's hope he gets to show his potential to not really potential, but uh, remind people of his abilities. I guess that's the sentence that I can use right now. Habib Harun Manuel or Petre Shitembi. These three midfield combo is crazy, amazing. In terms of making those final passes, Habib Harun being intelligent in the middle of the park, Manuel Odd with his drives forward, Peter Sitembi with his final passes. It's going to be really really good to watch them. Faisal Alim is not starting today, so it's Nick Sharif and Faiz Nazir. Still, both these wingers are
Mhm.
very strong in terms of distribution, in terms of pace and everything. So, Sharon Liza missed the game because of fever. Okay, let's hope
Ah, thanks
Adib
for that.
takes this chance. Lah. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Charonism has been playing very well actually for Terengganu in the past few games, and I believe that he merits a call up one day in the national team. He's young, 23 or 24 years old. So
Mm.
it's I guess for Terengganu, thank God they have depth. So that
Yeah.
is important. So yeah, looks a really good lineup if you ask me.
All right. So I mean, just from those two lineups, what are
Hmm.
you predicting score wise, maybe match wise?
Score wise, I think it's going to be. I don't know why I'm feeling it's going to be low scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of play, we're going to see Sabah relying on efficiency. So basically, their counters, their quick movements up top. And tonight, I really hope Mbalo really turns up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because the last two games that I watched, I don't know what he offers. I mean, physically he's strong and so on, but is he the man to change Sabas's, fortunes up front? I have not seen that yet, so I hope it turns up today. Yeah, I mean, Terengganu will look to have most of the ball possession, and Sabah's field is one of the best fields in Malaysia, so you can actually play really good football there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, uh, to this matchup.
So I'm thinking that okay, well, first of all, my team needs to get off to a proper start, lah. Not like the start they had against Selangor, which was really shaky. Because I think against a team that plays the ball as well as Terengganu, if you start that very tentative way,
Hmm.
very macam nervous, this kind of thing where you're feeling a bit like, worried to pass the ball and all these kind of things. Terengganu are
Hmm.
going to attack you. Terengganu are probably going to take advantage. So
Hmm.
if they manage to do that, great. But somehow I'm picking Terengganu for this one, lah. I think they're
Hey,
going to. Yeah, I
why?
am.
Sabah
Yeah.
fan saying that.
No, no,
Okay,
yeah, I am.
mana
I am. I
boleh?
am. I am. I
Tidak
am.
boleh. But what? I
I no,
mean,
I'm not cheering them on. My prediction
hmm.
is that they would probably scrape this either 1-0 or 2-1 lah.
But
Itu
don't you
me.
think Sabah's style of play can stifle that? I mean, you may create lots of chances, but then, there's this element of frustration where you try to take
Hmm.
shots, you try to make those passes, but it's not working. So Sabah takes advantage. Don't you think such a scenario could happen? Because PJ City did that once, huh? Remember they beat them
Yeah,
3-0.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That is true. It could happen. I mean, goals change games lah. But
Hmm.
I'm quite I after seeing the game against Langor and a bit against JDT, they really need to kind of mentally come together, lah, I think, because that's what you need to win or not. I mean, I don't think they're gonna win the title, but or at least be in the top half.
Hmm.
So I think they're gonna have to be mentally strong. Lah. I'm confident that they can do something, but somehow something in my gut is telling me Terengganu
Hmm.
might have this. Then again, it could just be the remnants or whatever bug I had last week in my gut. So I don't know.
G, I just want to say something, G. I just
Hmm.
got news that former Olympic Council of Malaysia Secretary General Dato Sia Kopchi has passed away apparently. I'm trying to
Oh,
ascertain whether the news is true or not, but if it's true, then it's a huge loss to the nation lah, because he's one of the uh, one of the best sports administrators that I've ever interviewed or spoken to. I mean, at his old age, he still has that facts in his head. Someone that I really respect. So yeah, just want to share this news to everyone. Lah. Hopefully, orang boleh bertafakur and also take a minute silence for Tan Sri
Yeah,
Lah.
yeah.
So you know Tan Sri Datuk.
I mean, meanwhile, the anthems are going on. So, yeah, we'll observe that as well. So, yeah, if you're just joining us, welcome. Sorry, we hadn't like somehow frozen or something. We were just
We're just respecting the national anthem. So the news that I shared earlier.
yeah, yeah.
Taiki Kagayama is quite a small guy. Huh? Because I know Kyrol Fami Chemat is small, but this
Yeah.
guy is smaller than Kyrol Fami Chemat.
I mean, in Sabah we used to call it pindi pindi tagap lah. So it's like
What does
small
that
and
mean?
stocky.
Oh, small and stocky. Pin, what
Pende
they call it?
tegap, pende and tegap. But
Ah,
when we pronounce it, it is pindik tagap lah. So
pindi.
tagap is a bit stocky, so, like Maradona.
Stocky.
You know,
Tegap lah, tegap lah.
tegap lah.
Maradona. Taiki is not that level lah.
Well, I mean, no, he's not that level, but that kind of short, stocky. Okay, let's say Insigne, or
Zidane
I wouldn't.
Shaqiri.
Yeah, okay, Shakiri is the best, lah. Yeah,
Hmm.
Shakiri is the best.
What
I
is the
have
physio
this.
rubbing on his chest? Did you
Like
see
his
that?
weeks. Yeah, I did. It's
Is
maybe
it
like
weeks?
Vieira, how he used to have that
Vieira used to
stain.
apply wigs on his
Yeah, yeah,
chest.
yeah. For
Yeah,
the
yeah,
longest
yeah.
time before you had Panditri, I had no idea what that was. I thought it was something wrong with his jersey. And then later
Not
on you
only him,
realize,
it was
it's
him and
actually
Kanu. Yes, as well,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. I do realize that I made a bit of a mistake because
What is
I
it?
put
What
that we
happened?
were going live on 8 at 8:15 in our in our in our posters. I put 8:15 because
No,
the
it's
match
okay, it's
starts at
okay.
8:15. It's
No,
fine.
it's okay, it's
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I think everyone's
okay,
getting
before
ready.
the game starts, lah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you've seen all the
Questions.
kits won by the Super League
Oh,
teams. So, in your opinion, which is the best jersey?
the best. That's a fantastic question. Again, I don't know. I feel a bit traitorous, but I like
Hmm.
Terengganu jersey. I love the black and white concept. So, which is why before I started watching Man United, the first team that I really were drawn to was Newcastle because, of course, of Scott Oller Renshaw, who was playing that time for Newcastle, but as well as the black and white looks fantastic lah. But
Okay, I just got the joke. Never mind. It's okay.
yeah.
Continue.
Unfortunately, Terengganu aren't wearing their home kit, but I've always liked the
Black
black
and
and white.
white kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
One away win in 4 games.
Who?
Interesting stuff.
Terengganu. Yeah. Terengganu's away form has been kind of poor actually.
Yeah.
So that's why I was quite surprised when he said Terengganu would win.
I don't know. I always I feel like their style of play, but then again with Mickey not around, one wonders.
Actually, I think Sabah should not be. Sorry. Terengganu should not be afraid of that because, in my opinion, lah, those two who are playing on the flanks today, Faiz Nasir and also Dick Sharif Asifi, they're equally as good as Faisal Alim, if you ask me. Faiz Nazir is short and you can what Pidit Tagap. He's that kind of a player. He's because if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, Faiz Nazi is 5'1", 5'2" only. He's quite
Mhm,
small.
mhm.
And Nick Sharif Asifi is technically refined. So far I've watched his games as super sub. I've been really impressed. So he fits that Terengganu style of play lah.
Right.
Okay, it's kick off.
So once again, I think my stream is slightly
Your
faster.
stream is faster, yeah. Because
Yeah,
when you told me about that away stat, it didn't come
until much
on my
later.
link. Yeah.
Oh, nice stream. So once
Oh,
again, for anyone who's joining us, welcome. This is the Armchair's third watch. Is this our third watch along? I
third
think
watch along. Yep.
third.
The first one
Third.
was Malaysia versus Bangladesh. The second was Sabah versus
Selangor.
Selangor. Yes.
Yeah, Sabah Selangor. And yeah, Sabah Terengganu again. So yeah, we're
Let's
watching
hope
along with
today's
you
watch
guys.
along is not like the previous watch along where they actually drew 1-1.
Look, even if it is, that's why this watch along is a bit interesting because we've got your most controversial,
Mm.
sensational hot takes, that we're going to be casually dropping in, lah. Just to talk while we watch the game. And of course, we welcome you guys to give your comments, add on to, the hot takes and the controversial opinions. Maybe you got something even more controversial. Please don't make us get sued. Okay, so let's try and let's try and keep it berbudi bahasa and
Mm.
uh, berbudi tak boleh kena saman kind of things lah. Alright, I think it's a good time to kind of drop the
Take the
first one.
first one. Mm.
Yeah. So the first one is from High Design sikap tim yang beli pemain yang utama dari pasukan lain dan simpan dekat bench dengan niat tak bagi tim lain beli adalah tidak sehat dan boleh dilihat sebagai anti competition. It's something we've seen in many leagues. I'm not sure whether I mean actually this question memang had a particular team in mind.
Mm.
Did lah. Okay, but yeah, this has happened many leagues. I'm thinking of Bayern, obviously. I'm thinking of my own team, Man United at a time used to do this as well. But Avi, what do you think?
Uh, let's see this in a macro perspective. Like you mentioned, teams like United, Bayern, and so on. Bayern's model or business model is simple. In order to enhance their team, they would, take players from their rivals, and they do it in a way that is, ruthlessly. I wouldn't say it's cunning. It's just, whether it's street smart or what. I don't know what's the perfect word to use because you see they've signed players from Borussia Dortmund, and it's not even expensive. They've signed them on free and so on. So I guess that is the nature of football. When you have top teams doing this, obviously we will have this notion that it is anti-competition. They're buying players not to play them and so on. And I'm sure everybody would know. I mean, the person who posted this question would have had one team in mind in Malaysia, lah,
Hmm.
which is one would say is JDT because even the Crown Prince of Johor once said that I signed Deepola and Diridon for them to sit down and so on. He said I am honest,
Hmm.
in one of the press conferences. So that's how he boldly say things, lah. The Crown Prince of Johor. Uh, in my opinion, yes, it is detrimental towards the competition in terms of quality and so on. But this is also a reminder for all the teams to realize that football has changed a lot. Player power is now really strong, and if you want to run a team, you must learn the modern facets of it. If you do not learn the modern facets of it, you are going to struggle. You are going to see these kind of things come up. And in JDT's case, they want to improve their team, so that is why they want to sign the best talents. Whether they want to use the player or not, it is the coach's discretion.
Hmm.
Simple as that. And also the player who joins JDT has to understand that in order to play in that team, he has to give his all during training session. Just because he was a star player for that his previous team,
Yeah.
that does not mean that he's entitled to start every game. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And but at the same time, also players have to realize that when you join a team like this, you're not going to get much minutes. Like you have to be prepared to fight for that spot. Most importantly, um, but like I said about other teams, they need to start changing things in terms of management, the administrative aspect, and then some teams do not have their own training field, the most essential thing in professional football. So when that aspect is not being fulfilled, you're going to see this thing happening all the time. Like in
Mm,
Sabah's case, this season they have got their own training field. It is sponsored by Safa, if I was told. Lah. So that is, a step in the right way. And I hope other clubs would do the same thing. Do not just have a budget for a season and you look to sign foreigners or best local players. No, it has to be holistic. It has to be you know it has to be all encompassing. That's the
mm,
thing lah. If not, we will still continue talking about this entire competition, JDT buying top players and so on. It happens everywhere, even in Ukraine also. Shakhtar Donetsk buys the best talents, and they're still the best team there. And that's when Dynamo Kiev woke up,
mm,
realizing that they have someone bankrolling, an oligarch bankrolling Shakhtar. Dynamo Kiev's management started to realize that it's time that we bring up the boys from the academy, the Kiev
mm,
academy.
mm.
So there are ways to, what is the word that I can use to subdue this aspect, to subdue
Mm.
this thought, because at the end of the day, as a football fan, as a football journalist, you want to see competition. You want to see a league where everyone is able to compete. Not just one or two teams, at least three, four, five teams, like what's happening in the Premier League right now.
Yes, yeah.
So we hope to see that happening in the future. Like, and even in Germany, everything it is changing. It's just that teams have to have that willingness to change their approach. That is really, really important. I hope I made sense with what I just said. It's quite lengthy.
No, I think for me it's important to always remember that I mean football is cyclical lah, like everything in life lah, things change, things come to like a denouement. At one point it seemed like like people said that Liverpool would never win the title. Now they are arguably the best team in Europe.
In the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In the world. And now it seems like my team will never be anywhere near the top again. Our teams perhaps, but things change. So you never know. At the moment, maybe it seems like one team is dominating, but as Avi said, lah, there will be challenges that come up slowly. You know, for
Yeah,
of course
you'll
there
have
will.
the Sabahs, you have the Terenganus. I mean,
Yeah,
Terenganu's model at the moment, I'm really impressed, relying on lots of young talents. And look at the way they play their football. It's amazing. It's just that they need to get consistent results. And in terms of facilities, they have it in Terengganu. I can see that the players are happy and so on.
yeah,
But there will be a time where few particular players from Terengganu who have really impressed, they will one day, get an offer from JDT. That is something that we can't avoid. And in Malaysia, most of the players sign 1 year contracts.
yeah,
So by the 6 month, there will be someone talking to these players. People will say, why is he poaching him? But contractual rules, I mean, if you sign a 1 year contract, when it comes to June, you can talk to any teams. That is the bossman role. I hope people are aware of that role. Lah. So
mm,
teams also have to be smart in terms of contracts. Lah. Time to offer long-term deals. Time to, not just sign a player on a year-to-year basis. I think that is something that teams really need to avoid. That is, to me, very archaic.
mm,
Unless he's like over 31, 32, then yes, it is understandable that you're offering such deals. But to a young player who's 23, 24, 25, you're offering year by year deal. I think that is not right. Lah. And no teams would want to sign a player just for 6, 5 months. No way. When you sign a player, it's a process. It's a process of
yeah.
building them up and so on. Gee, what happened?
No, 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 nothing. No, no, just looking. It wasn't nothing worth talking about.
But so far, Sabah have got two, three chances, if I'm not mistaken, based on
Yeah,
what I've seen
they're
so
good
far.
from set pieces, lah.
That's what
Big
Kimsey is going to
players.
rely on today because he's got the. I mean, he's got the height in his team.
Yes, he has got the
Jackson,
height.
Dominic, Mbalo is
Yeah.
also tall.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, what's the next one? Gee.
Give me a minute. Yeah, it's taking a bit. Okay. So Azwar Appa
Hmm.
us, introduce Liga Semi Pro, Liga dianggotai pasukan universiti, kilang, syarikat.
Mm.
Paling mustahak, most important is not a league handled by MFL.
Mm.
I think just the first part, great idea lah. I think you definitely need that kind of universities. I mean, companies, commercial thing. That's how you get. I mean, you already have that to an extent. I mean, you have UITM and all this kind of stuff. But he's saying that it should not be handled by the MFL, which is interesting because if that's the case, would they be able to then, let's say, they reach the top of their respective league? Where do they go? Is it only the FA Cup? Do they can they get promoted into the Premier League, the Super League? What happens then?
Okay, to answer this question, I know universities they have got their own competition organized
Yes.
by the Higher Education Ministry, if I'm not mistaken. They
Mm,
have that competition, and then as for companies and factories, they would take part in invitational tournaments. Some of them are involved in social leagues, state leagues, district, city leagues. So we have those in place actually.
mm,
We have those in place already. It's just that it is not prominent as the amateur leagues, like for example the AFL, the MFL leagues, and I mean MFL leagues would be the Super Premier League, and then you have the Malaysia Cup, FA Cup, and so on. So this team, um sorry, these teams that he mentioned, and so on, they should be given a chance to participate in the FA Cup, which MFL has done with the participation of the amateur football league team. So maybe they can expand it further in the future. That is one thing that can be considered. Similar to the FA Cup format in England, where they have the
mhm,
non-league teams also participating in that competition. It would add a lot of color and zest to it, and lots of interesting stories of teams that are who knows rising from the ashes, coming up with a small budget yet showing so much of passion. We want to hear this kind of story. So and he mentioned paling Mustafa bukan liga dipegang. This competition semua is a separate entity lah. It's a separate
mhm,
entity. It's a separate the competition lain. Mungkin dia bukan format liga, tapi dia macam carnival tournament lah. So hopefully in the future kemungkinan uh, the higher education ministry ataupun even the human resources ministry boleh moot an idea to start up their own league. This is for people to just play and all that lah. Tapi orang yang ada di kilang yang syarikat semua ni mereka main di dalam social league jugalah. So
mm,
we have these elements in. For me right now, what's really important is a very solid grassroots program. And when I say a program, it should involve every club in the Malaysian Football League.
mhm,
Every club should have their own academy. Do not rely on your football associations. Let them run the competitions in the state. You, as a club, come up with your own academy. When that happens, then we will have a pool of talent and so on. Look at what's happening in Europe. In Japan, they're relying on the university, colleges, and schools to build the next generation of talent, and they go and play in the J League and so on. That system has worked for Japan because in these universities and schools, it is run professionally, and they've got lots of stratas and divisions and so on. Even in the US also, you have the NCAA, and then they've joined the MLS team and so on. If I'm not mistaken, in US there is NCAA Division One, Division Two. So
yeah.
players who are playing in NCAA Division One, they have a better chance of playing in the Major Soccer League, Major League Soccer, MLR, Major League Soccer. So yeah, these are the kind of things that we need to look at. Like, needs a lot of willingness, needs a lot of discussion, needs a lot of um,
Structure,
yes, structure. That is the
organization.
word,
Yeah.
organization. So that's my take on it. What about you, Logan? I mean, you are with Quest, and seeing this question and seeing uh, how involved are universities in terms of football development, being part of the structure and so on.
I mean, just generally speaking, of course, as you mentioned, there are leagues and all, but that structure needs to be there, lah. Because I think,
Mm,
for most institutions of higher learning in Malaysia, and I'm pretty sure, like, probably beyond the Western world, the main goal is, of course, getting, the students to graduate, and it's more the academic side, lah. Whereas, I mean, until and unless sports are a very viable career move for young people,
mm,
then it will continue to be that way, lah. You need structure and you need proper organization. Then only
mm,
you can have these things actually flowing into a proper,
mm.
football society, lah. Actually, we've got another question just sent in from Joshua, another friend of the show. This one, Avi, I think is for you, lah. Good luck navigating this one. um, Person you regret interviewing slash work with in the football industry. Keeping in mind, most of them are still in
Sorry,
the football industry.
Joshua, to disappoint you, but I cannot mention the name. I cannot mention the team or name. Oh, Benny is coming in, Logan.
Yes, yes. Benny is coming in.
Benny
Not
is
to this
coming in
show.
for Jackson. What happened to
Jackson.
Jackson?
No, no, he got tackled in the midfield. I think he's trying to stop a counter attack.
Was
And
it a
yeah,
bad tackle?
no lah. No, I mean it's
Oh,
one of
he's
those
limping.
fifties
Oh,
lah.
damn. I hope it's not bad because he's been an
Yeah.
important player for Sabah. Sorry, Joshua's question. Look, I'm sorry to disappoint you that I cannot mention names or teams, but yes, I've had some who, not to say they've got to my nerve, maybe tickle my nerve a little by not responding to my questions or whatsoever. I tried my best to get them a platform to express their views and so on, but they don't want to do so. So it's a bit tough, lah. I think the one thing that's really disappointing about Malaysian football is the number of off-record stories that I've heard. That is kind of frustrating. So maybe, yeah, I mean, I cannot mention names, lah, bro. If I mention means, then you might not see the armchair in the future. Minta maaf. Unless that person is willing to go on record, unless that person is attacking us, then maybe we will voice out. Lah.
Joshua, buddy, if I believe if you're in Ipoh, if you're from Ipoh, one day when Avi comes down, we must meet up, lah. He can maybe tell
Yes,
you
yes,
personally.
yes. He'll tell you personally.
Lot
It's
of
not a good
interesting.
answer, bro. Sadly, I'm sorry to say. Even I would say it's not a good answer because I want to know more. But then, you know, we like. I mean, this is something that we have discussed with Logan for quite a while. Now. We are still new. We
Mm,
want to continue building this platform, being an avenue to lots of people, and we hope we will be doing that in the future. So right now we are not in the mood to ruffle lots of feathers. I mean, yes, we did ask your controversial takes and so on. We are trying our best to answer in our own way,
mm.
but your question very hard for me to answer, bro. So sorry. When I come down to Ipoh, yes, we should meet up for coffee or something, please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, correct. Okay. Open chance for Terengganu. Okay, okay. Well cleared by Sabah, though. Well cleared. Um, I mean, this
Hmm.
question is a bit. I mean, okay,
Hmm,
I'm
hmm,
not
hmm,
really gonna try and answer because I'll be honest, I
hmm,
really don't have much of background about this.
hmm,
But yeah, Holarin asked us on Instagram actually
hmm,
thoughts on Jamal Qureshi and his family. I
hmm.
mean, family, I suppose in context of his dealings with
Okay,
Malaysian
before I
football.
answer about this family, I think Logan is someone who follows basketball quite fervently, so I'm very sure he knows who Lava Ball is.
Oh
What's
yeah,
your take on that, man?
should I talk about Lava Ball after you talk about Qureshi or what? Because I think you
Okay,
should answer
I'll speak
Qureshi
about
first. Yeah.
Jamal Qureshi's, which is Jami Qureshi's family, his father Pervis, because I think after the Asian Cup qualification, the father said he's going to meet FM and they're going to meet and talk and so on. So after the meeting, I think it didn't happen the way he wanted it to be. I feel so. And some have said that the father is trying to ruin Jami's career and so on by being too, I mean, vocal with his thoughts by saying that his son will wait it out. He does not want to give his passport away and so on. For me, this is my take, lah. Jami Qureshi is being a father. A father would want the best for his son. Even if the son may not agree to it or not, but the father would always think what's best for his son. So whatever comments that he gives and so on, it is for his son. He's looking after his son's interests. And we may not agree with what he says, but that does not mean we have the right to, question his take on things with regards to his son. Lah. Some have been pretty personal. Some of the criticisms were a little too toxic. For me, simple. When the father says that, just move on. It's okay. If he does not want the son to play for Malaysia, so be it. We will not see Jamie Qureshi playing for Malaysia. That's it. So G, are you there? G.
Yes, I
I
am.
saw you froze for a moment.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
So I mean, that's Jamie Qureshi and his family, lah. They are looking after his interests. Some have said that kenapa dia budget star and so on. Let the father be the father. Lah. Let the father do whatever he wants to do. If you don't want to select him, we don't select him. FM was stern about it. They already said, look, if you don't want to let go of your British passport, we cannot select your son. Fair enough. FM already gave their take. That's it. Leave it. Chapter close.
If you
Chapter
ask me,
close. Hmm.
yeah, that makes us look stronger. The fact that we are sticking to our
Yeah.
principles, lah. Yeah. The reason why I brought up Lava Ball was, I mean,
Hmm.
okay, so in case
No,
anyone
actually, I brought up Lava Ball because
oh
the
yes,
situation is almost similar, actually.
very very similar, yeah.
Hmm.
So, Lava Ball is the father of two at the moment two NBA players lah, Lamelo Ball and Lonzo Ball. Yes, their names are actually Ball. Uh,
Yeah, Paul.
So this guy Lava Ball is different from I think Qureshi's dad because Lava Ball even before his kids actually reached the NBA was like a pro wrestling promoter. If you can imagine, remember the Undertaker dulu ada Paul Bearer. You had Paul Heyman, you had Don King, these kind of mega promoters. Lava Ball was all that, all about big baller brand and all this kind of stuff. So he'd be talking a lot of shit about how his kid is better than Kobe, how he could beat Michael Jordan one on one. But the reason why he did it was, like Joshua has correctly pointed out on YouTube here, I mean, he is a marketing genius because look, no matter what it is, right? In today's society, controversy sells, lah. So
Exactly.
if
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
see, it's unfortunate. But it's wrong. I think to say nowadays, controversy is always sold. In
Hmm.
sports as well, they're
Even in
very
the past,
little.
if there was a controversy, it was posted in the front pages of a newspaper. So right now,
Yeah,
it's everyone on social media. I think Paris is thriving on this, if you ask me, Jamie Qureshi's father. Do
yeah,
you
and
think he gives a damn about the opinions? No. For him, son,
no.
getting publicity. Hmm.
You also have to kind of realize how short a footballer's career is. Footballer maybe has like 10, maybe if you're lucky, 15 years of peak performance where you could be getting a lot of, offers. This
Hmm.
guy knows that every headline or every IG comment he gets is going to
Hmm.
be better for his son. But
Son.
I
Hmm.
have to say that, respect to our authorities for saying, no,
Hmm.
we have our standards, we have our principles, no matter
We
how
have our
talented you
protocols
are.
that we have to follow. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, we are not going to
Bec-
budge that.
hmm. Hmm.
So, I mean,
I need to tell people because a lot of people have criticized FM for being slow in terms of getting passports for these mixed heritage players. Some of these players they don't want to let go of their first country passports.
mm,
So when that happens, we cannot do anything about it. FM cannot say, look, we cannot because it's clear according to our laws, dual citizenship is not allowed.
yeah.
Simple as that. So in that case, I think we have to respect the laws, and FM is, you know, following the rules. And in terms of documentation, I cannot follow them at all. They actually FM is good in terms of that. Just that I've told last time the archives all need to be out, the stats, results all need to be published and so on. But documentation they're good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think just going back to the game, right? Sabah do look a bit more threatening, lah.
Gee, this is the thing about Mbology. I don't know. I'm not convinced with this fella. Really,
Right.
I don't know why. I feel sad for Neto actually.
I mean, okay, lah. Just playing devil's advocate. It's a half chance. I mean, maybe tough for him to wrap his boot around that, lah.
But to be okay, lah. I mean, he is frustrating, but just now he also, made a cross from the right. There was nobody receiving it. So Jaime was actually caught off guard. So I think in terms of movement and so on, I think that has to be fixed, lah.
Yeah. But then again, we always do say that we need to give these guys a bit more time. Then let's maybe give him.
Another
At
two,
least
three
he's here.
games.
Yeah, he's at least here until the end of the season, right?
You know what? I've been impressed with Sabah's save in the first half. Really,
Yes,
really
yes,
impressed.
much better. Yes,
And
yes,
I'm also surprised why Terengganu is not pressing. If you realize that, huh?
yes.
Like it's not.
Actually,
I don't know if you saw the passage of play between Gary, Paktesu, and Rizal. Nobody was pressing them. Nobody was,
no.
yeah,
I mean, they're definitely backing off. Definitely,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a
I
it's
wonder
a low
why.
line. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why. Yeah. See, Stewart is given time and space to make that pass. Usually, the Terengganu that I know would not allow that to happen.
It
So yeah,
it
it's a
can't
bit.
be just Mickey, right?
No, 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 no. All four of them. I mean, Kappa does not do much of the pressing,
Yeah.
but the midfield, the wingers, and all that. And it's
Maybe
surprising to see Faiz Nazi coming deep. Actually,
then again, maybe they feel that maybe Sabah expected the press, so maybe they're not going to play into the hands just yet, lah.
or maybe they're realizing that because this is an away game, we're not going to,
Yeah,
exercise
yeah.
all our energy. Don't know. Maybe never know.
That's a good. By the way, your stream
Oh
is, I think, we're around the same time. Huh? I'm at
no,
26:50.
I'm at 26:44.
Okay lah, quite close lah, quite close.
Okay lah, okay lah.
Once again, we must apologize the lack of a timer on our screen. If anyone would please tell me how on earth I
How
could do
to
that.
do it?
Yeah, I have really no idea how.
Hey guys, if you have questions, please do ask them. I mean, doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily need to be controversial, but whatever questions
Please
that you
no
have
more.
in mind, please do ask.
No, I'll be honest lah. Look, I mean, if I can just go behind the scenes a bit, when we kind of thought about this hot takes kind of thing, it was meant to be like how Benny has hot takes. For instance, when KL's Gigi called him a tragedy because he said that Gareth Bale was a flop at Madrid. So I thought it'd be something like that. We did get some fascinating hot takes regarding that kind of stuff, but we also got a lot of interesting comments about Malaysian football, the real nuts and bolts of it. Really interesting. So, and it's almost like it's seeped into societal issues kind of thing. So I mean, kudos to all our viewers. Like you guys are really, like something else. The passion you have for football is really something else. Speaking of which, Holarin, thanks again, bro, for another comment. Talk about Jami. I think Nishan Velupile will be an exciting prospect for the national team. Because last week against United, he played quite decent. First of
Taiki,
all,
why?
I'm sorry, I was reading that out. Okay. Oh, you. Come on.
Wait, he did everything perfectly well, and the finish. It was
A lot
close
more
to
space than he
close.
thought, I think.
Like I said, the pressing is not there.
Yeah,
I
he had a
think
lot
I
more
think
time.
halftime will be a torrid one for the Terengganu boys. I'm very sure the
Yeah, yeah.
coaching staff are going to, rip them
Like he's
apart.
had two chances, by the way.
Mm,
Two
mm.
chances that should have been taken.
About
Lah.
it.
The header
But
was,
actually,
I think,
that one, the shot that he took was inches off the post. I mean, it's okay. Maybe another chance will come. Lah.
just back to
Okay,
Holarin's
but Howlerman's
comment.
question.
I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't look decent against Manchester United? Lah? Having said that, though, they played very well against Crystal Palace, apparently. Damn it, because I'm seeing on Twitter that
Wait, when they
apparently
played?
no, they are playing in the tour now. They've just beaten Crystal Palace, and the reviews are very good. People are
What's the
saying they've
score?
played very well. At least three lah, because I saw that Sancho scored a very good team goal. But I
Wait,
can't.
3 nil.
At least three. At least I'm not sure how much it is. Yeah, it's Crystal Palace in a preseason friendly lah.
Preseason.
I mean, we've already won the first trophy of the season, which was the Bangkok.
Which
What
you
is that
guys
trophy?
didn't bring to Melbourne.
Which respect, man, like Mourinho. So,
Okay, wait. I mean, let's not
I'm
wait
sorry,
on
we've gone off
Hollerin.
topic here. Yeah.
Nishan's case, he's an Australian uh, with Sri Lankan heritage and also Malaysian heritage. So in Nishan's case, yes, he is a prospect, but you all have to ask this one question: is he willing to let go of his Australian passport? Number one. Number two, doing this player playing in the A League for, if I'm not mistaken, he's playing for Melbourne Victory. Whoever plays in that system, the first thought would be the Socceroos. So I believe Nishan is actually a prospect for them. So right now we can do the convincing, we can talk to the player, but if the player does not want to let go of his Australian passport, it's okay, we cannot force him. Let's look for talents in our country.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. Lah.
Mm.
Having said that, Nishan, if you're interested, why not? Hey,
Why not?
come
Maybe do an interview with
lah.
her first, and then
Oh, yeah,
we
no,
can get your
exactly. We
complete
shall be
score, and
your
then we go.
welcome wagon. He may never want to play for Malaysia again.
You.
Who are these losers and why are they?
Why is he trying to convince me?
Oh, my goodness.
It's not a good
Um,
time, mate.
We've had a
That's a
few
lame one. I'm
Australians on the
sorry.
show, and they will never talk to us again after that
Yeah, they
accent.
will never talk. Yeah, with that accent. No, no way.
Brother, thanks a lot, lah.
Thanks a
Always,
lot.
always nice to get questions. My
I have
God,
a
Kwame,
question. Wait,
what are you doing? What? Sir.
I have a question. Holarin's profile photo, is this the Swedish national team?
Oh no, can we not? Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm asking. Holarin, can you answer me that question? Because if you support Sweden, man. Hey, I swear it, yeah.
How does one do
Sadly,
that?
they're not in the World Cup, damn it.
While we wait for Avi's bias to. Oh my God! It is. Oh no!
Come on, la, brother.
Swedish friends. Oh man, I'm actually really happy that you have. So there are two of you at least.
Actually, no. Last week, no, 3 weeks ago, when I went to Harimau Malaya's office,
Right.
one of the guys who interviewed me is a Sweden supporter. I was shocked.
I mean, that's really kind of interesting, you know.
Yeah,
Wow.
actually. And then I asked him why. And he told me I like Freddie Lundberg. And so I was like, whoa, okay. He's also an Arsenal supporter. Then I asked why he supports Sweden as the national team. Because I followed Lundberg and then I saw the performance. I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. I started following them since the time of Heinrich Lassen, Patrick Anderson, Marcus Albach, the old guys.
I mean, Ljungberg was class, lah. So yeah, but it's I think like Sivan is a Huddersfield Town supporter and all this kind
Hmm.
of thing, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's always interesting. Another, oh yeah, come on, man. Hey, donkey. Anyway, uh,
What did I tell you about that fella?
no.
What did I tell you? See, there is a chance he should have taken lah.
No, it
Latan
is a chance.
bicycle kick against. Oh, okay.
Ah, right.
Hmm.
Okay, so all right.
See, at the expense of England.
Right. Olarin, you shall be blocked from all our socials. No, I'm kidding. Well, Mbalo's down injured.
What happened? Was he clipped
Not sure. He may have landed a bit awkwardly after
awkwardly?
the header. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! Centre back fell on him. Am I right?
Oh, damn, he fell on his ankle. That would have hurt. Yep.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yep.
It's interesting as a United fan, you know, we all love Zlatan, but that England game was quite hilarious. And well, England was
No,
hilarious at that point,
to
like,
be honest, at
absolute.
that point of time, I think that game also was kind of like, what's the word called?
No, you
Dilly
know
ding,
what? You
dilly
know
dong
what?
kind of game.
England deserved it because they were playing that moron Joe Hart in goal. So there you go. I've never liked Joe Hart because he's because he's a City player. So hey, okay, Zlatan, Sweden, yeah, why not? I mean,
Okay, okay, we'll start with the Sweden love.
we'll,
Next
we'll
up,
stop with the Sweden talk. Oh my
ask
goodness,
questions or give your thoughts and
yeah.
opinions. Do share while the watch along is going on. And to those
Mm.
young who are going to watch the other game, please give your take as well so that you can see I mean, we can know what's happening and so on. Lah.
Yeah, exactly. So our next
Hmm.
question is from another very good friend of the show,
Hmm.
Amin, who said, I mean, I'm very sorry, I had to really shorten your question. Bukan apa, sebab because this StreamYard thing only allows 200 characters, so it's even more
Lagi
strict than
teruk dari Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, exactly, right? So, anyways, datanglah segala bentuk kemajuan bagus macam mana pun prestasi klub-klub di Malaysia bila beraksi di pentas antarabangsa. Of course, recently we had JDT doing extremely well. Um, Amin says that development of bola dekat Malaysia akan terus terbantut selagi mana state clubs exist. Ironically, we're watching two state clubs right now. But I mean, what do you think? It's an interesting perspective on the state clubs situation in Malaysia.
I mean, number one, it has already been, state clubs have been part of our football culture for many, many years, since 1921. So right now, instead of, trying to abolish the state clubs, we need to enhance this club by having a professional mindset of things, move away from the FA concepts, move away from politicians, try to, even though I'm not the biggest fan of a corporate style management, because having been in some structures that have really stifled my growth, but still, I think that is the only way to see professionalism, to reap benefits out of it. So, if you ask me, state clubs must be clubs, not state
Hmm.
FAs.
Yes,
Everything
yes,
must be
yes.
run independently. Simple as that. If someone wants to buy over the state, for example, like Kelantan, for example, like JDT, for example, like Perak,
Perak.
let them run the show. There should not be any outside influences at all. Run it like a proper club, like what's happening in Thailand, what's happening even in freaking Cambodia. Cambodian clubs are run by conglomerates and businessmen and so on, and they are very professional. Visaka nearly went to the AFC Cup semi-final. They shocked Bali United 5-1. Bali United is one of the clubs that is in the stock market in Indonesia. So these are the kind of things that we need to strive for in Malaysia. If this happens, then we will not have these talks of having the state mindset affecting football. Alamak, I should have answered this in the lead. Never mind, it's okay since I've already answered. Tapi untuk saya lah, saya semasa saya berada di Ipoh, pasukan pertama yang saya mula sokong bukan Arsenal ya, tapi pasukan Perak. So untuk saya to take that away is like taking away my childhood. Itu tidak seharusnya berlaku. Apa yang kita perlu lakukan, apa yang kita perlu demand adalah uh, untuk mengenal pasti, untuk memberitahu klub-klub ini bahawa the way of managing things perlu tu kaji. Kalau tidak, susah, memang naya. So untuk saya, kita tidak boleh abolish this lah. So for example, Melaka is known as Melaka United Football Club, but we still, hear issues here that has to be solved. It has to stop.
Hmm.
These things all has to stop. That's all I can say. For me, it's not the state problem. It's those who are running some of these clubs. Some of them.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And I think there is also a big difference between the identity of a state
Hmm,
and the accountability, the organization
exactly.
behind it lah. So I mean, just assuming lah, I'm assuming Amin is not talking about like removing the state identities, because it is, removing the lack of accountability sometimes, the smoke screens and all this kind of thing. If, as you said, I think all we want from our football is, entertainment, and for our teams to be run properly, the players to be paid well. Everyone wants this.
Entertainment is one, but also
Mm.
accountability and transparency is one thing that is
Yeah.
really, really important. And that is something that I plan to us MFL tomorrow actually. Because I
Yeah.
was told that the league structure could change and so on. We can change the league structure format and all yada yada yada. But if clubs are still being run in an archaic manner, then we will not see changes. It
Yeah.
has to
Yeah.
change. When I talk about accountability and transparency, finances of these clubs, make it public, like how
Mm.
like what's happening in Europe. Number one, and then when you do a transfer, in Malaysia, YG,
I I
understand.
think I think yeah, I mean, of course Europe is probably a few steps ahead of us, but I think there is a danger of like kind of putting them a bit on a, I know this is not what you meant lah, but
Hmm.
I think there's a danger as fans of Asian, who are in Asia, we may put them a bit on a pedestal. There are a lot of very shady stuff going on in Europe as well.
Ah,
We
that's
should
true. That's true.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff.
Especially what's happening in La Liga and Barcelona. Huh?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. There are a few very big names, administrators who, have court cases and all this kind of things.
The corruption
Suddenly,
cases and so on. Yeah, I mean,
yes,
I'm
yes,
not
yes.
saying we should entirely follow them. I mean, sir,
Correct. Yes,
the
exactly.
concept is something that
Exactly.
we should, hold on to. But there are some instances where, for example, Seb Blatter and Michel Platini being acquitted of corruption by FIFA
Mm.
court, which raise lots of alarm bells. Today, I was
Right.
listening to Tifo Arena.
Mm.
They were mentioning about Bundesliga and
Mm.
how clubs are being run. Yes, you have this. Ongoing discussion on Bayern always winning the Bundesliga. But in terms
Yeah.
of managing these clubs financially, it's really good. And the key word that they mentioned was competence.
Yeah.
That is something that needs to happen in Malaysia also.
The
Big.
interesting thing about the Bundesliga is the concept of being owned by the fans, where the
Yes,
fans are the
yeah,
majority. I think,
majority of it.
I don't know whether that'll ever happen here.
Mm.
But what a concept, lah. Honestly, what a
Yes, what a
concept.
concept.
Because at the end of the
Amazing.
day, you have that accountability, you have the passion, because the fans and that's why I say, when we look at Europe and all this kind of thing, you look at the team I support, where there is absolutely no flow of information between the top management and the fans. You'll have one or two, like scapegoats coming down pretending to talk to a handful of the fans, and then blah blah blah,
Yeah,
blah.
like
Lip
recently, what's his
service.
name? Murtok, was it Arnold or
Murdoch,
Murtok? We had a
I think it
chat
was
with someone. Yeah, but yeah.
yeah. But he never spoke to the real fans like Goldbridge, who is, my my idol, my streaming idol, Mark Goldbridge.
I mean,
No,
you see, like for
yeah,
example, people saying that Edu is always doing things behind the scenes, keeping it quiet. But as a fan, also, we want to know how the deal is being made. What is the accountability behind it, how the deal was done, and so on. Those are the things, the facets that we all also want to know. In Malaysia, it's something. It's like a taboo, to discuss about this account, statement, balance, and all that. We want to see because we want to hold these people accountable. Like if there's anything wrong, we will question them. But we
yeah,
question for what? Not because we want to bring you down, because we want to help that team do well, and
exactly,
you clear your name.
exactly.
You be you start promoting transparency and accountability. Like for example, when I do the transfer news, I wish I can reveal the number of years a player signs his contract, the wages, and so on.
Yeah,
But they say cannot. They say cannot because they say people will start commenting and so on. Never mind. If they are doing it in Europe, why we can't do it here? If they're doing it in Thailand, why we can't do it here? If they're doing it in India, why we can't do it here?
yeah, yeah. I think our show
Because
with our agent friend,
5 hours.
Fight House, was very, very
Yeah,
illuminating on that.
illuminating. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he really went, because that was one of the main
I
questions we
wouldn't.
got as
I
well.
don't. I don't know whether it's thought provoking or not, but yeah, it raises a lot of questions. What he said
Yeah,
was so true.
because he shed some light on it. There's always a lot of like darkness about transfers, so at least he
Hmm.
told us a bit more. Lah. Um, we're just gonna go a bit more to our YouTube questions. Holarin said that KBS made a new league for our youth called Liga Tunas. Are we? I mean, I am sorry. I have to. not really sure about this. Did it happen really? What's it about?
I have to double check because it's not at the back
Hmm.
of my head at the moment. But I know something was launched, and when the mention of Tunas, I can only think of Academy Tunas, which is part of the National Football Development Program. Because in NFDP you have uh, the Academy Mukta Daira, which is the creme de la creme, where all the top players are there. The below it you have the Academy Tunas and the districts, and I mean the states, districts, and so on. Lah. So that is. I have to double check on this. I can't answer this at the moment. I'm sorry, I don't have everything in my head. And I'll check on this and I'll get back to you, Holarin. But if there is such a league, it's good because it's also promoting development. But for me, simple. You can have as many leagues as you want, you can have as many competitions as you want. But value merit, value talent. That is all I ask for. Because I know some cases where, people of influence may say, select this player. This coach says I prefer this player because I know his family members and so on. I think that has to stop. They
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
start thinking of merit and so on. Lah.
So Joshua kind of takes our conversation to another different area, lah. Equally interesting area, I'd say. In terms of the women's league, do you think a fantasy draft system selection would make it more competitive?
First up, we need
Um,
a league.
we need a yeah, seriously, we do need a
We
league.
need no, we have a league, but it needs to be functioning. It needs to be because right now I think we have the Shanghai Rajya Cup, but I think it's time we start a women's league,
Hmm.
something which is about you know 14 to 16 teams. I hope tomorrow MFL may say something along those lines. Who knows? If they
Yeah, yeah.
do, tabi, really a tabi. If
And
they
if
do
they
say
do,
that
we
we have,
will have an immediate reaction on our
yes,
socials, lah.
exactly, socials.
Yeah.
So if that happens, that will be good. But first up, we need a competitive league first. Then after that, we'll think about fantasy draft and selection system. But also, people will tend to question that why you're doing it in the women's league, not the men's league.
Hmm.
So you have this question of keeping it structured,
Oh,
keeping it
Terengganu are in. Terengganu have scored. It's manual odd.
defense. I would blame the defense.
Yes, yes, 100%.
But wait, I need to see who didn't clear that second ball or third ball. So Logan, you got the first skill in terms of your prediction.
Wait, you
Yeah,
didn't make a prediction, did you? I mean, very, very good how you just, I mean, easily took out two or three defenders there.
okay, one.
Hmm. Once you have,
Pesu and Gary should have been tighter.
I mean, no, once you have that many deflections, second chance shots in the box, it's kind of asking for trouble.
Yeah.
It's really asking for trouble because,
Esma, no, I think if they were being tight. It's just that that bounce, the deflection, and so on.
correct, correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dominic also went in like a little later. I mean, this is all about the timings
Hmm.
of the challenges on.
So right
So,
on the stroke of halftime, that would have changed both the team talks. I sound like the FIFA commentator. Okay.
but no, personally, if you ask me, Nafuzi should score them.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think
I think
Kimsi would surely give a berating. I think to Taiki for
the
missing.
finishing they
Yeah,
should have scored at
finishing should
least
have been
one.
better. Embalo and Taiki and so on.
So in the meantime, we've got another question. Your opinion on MPL, guys? I think this league just
Malaysia
decreased.
Premier League.
Yeah. I think as a Perak fan, you would probably be the best person to handle this one.
Oh, ini betul-betul pukul
No, no,
depan
no. That's
muka
not. That's
bukan
oh my
belakang.
god! Stop being so
I know
sensitive.
lah, Sabah is in the Super League. It's okay, I'll answer that question.
Not only in the Super League, leading this one of the leaders of the Super League. No, I'm not. Look, I'm still staying in Perak. Please don't beat me up in my house or anything. No, just no. I mean, because like honestly, I don't really watch the
Okay
Premier
lah.
League
To
that much.
answer
Yeah.
Darius's question, yes, it's true. that it lacks competitiveness because you have uh, the clubs and also the feeder clubs in it. And we can see that there's only, I think there are only 10 teams in the league, which I think is not good enough. So it has to change. I was told that, the Premier League would now be a reserve league. So that means the top league would have about 18 teams, I was told. But we will wait and see what happens tomorrow. Lah. So they would have 18 teams there, and then the second league would be the feeder league club. But I personally feel that still need to have the Premier League, and it's time to promote the AFL clubs to this league because you must give them the opportunity to play in the top division as well, right? First or second. But I also understand why such a move is being made because some of these AFL clubs, in terms of sustainability, they are not long running. So there is that fear, there is that element also whether they can stay on long or not. So these are the kind of questions that will be asked tomorrow. I'm very sure about it. So yeah, like even this season also the competitiveness is we can see Kelantan doing well, Kelantan United, Kuching, Perak, I don't need to say because of that points deduction and so on. Now things are slowly getting back to normal, but their next aim is to, qualify for the. I mean, their realistic aim at the moment is to stay in the Premier League if the Premier League remains, and also to qualify for the Malaysia Cup. But it doesn't add that bite or that zest to the Malaysian Cup because there are only about 5 or 6 legit legit teams that can qualify for the Malaysia Cup. Feeder clubs cannot qualify for the Malaysia Cup. I think people are aware of that. So yeah, it does decrease the competitiveness of that league and also the following of it. Lah. So yeah. G, I can't hear you. G, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was busy coughing my lungs out just now, muted, so I didn't want to disturb you, and I forgot to unmute myself. The professionalism on this show never ends, lah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That is something that people can also question.
So yeah, I think we got this from I think Lutfi lah, 383. Apologies for messing up your name because there's a 7, but I think his other full handle was
I think
Lutfi.
his name is Lutfi. Lutfi.
Yeah, yeah. So Liga Malaysia tak ada commercial value because percentage paying fan base kecil. Again, I apologize, bro, because I have shortened your tweet a lot lah. If it doesn't make sense, right, it's my fault and not yours. But he's got an interesting point here. TV drama Melayu pukul 7 jauh lebih lumayan kerana jumlah eyeballs lebih besar, ad space mahal. Mimpi je lah TV rights revenue for teams. I think I'm just gonna okay. I'm not gonna say he's wrong. I think he has he has a point. Lah. What I'm
No,
gonna say
he is correct. He is right.
he's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right. Comparing it to obviously dramas and all, that's every country in the world has that issue, lah. Because dramas, of course, every country's TV rating they're the top, lah. I think for me personally, it comes down to the entertainment value. The reason, okay, I'm gonna give like a macam perbandingan sikit lah. If you notice in the past 2-3 years, a lot of people have restarted watching F1. Okay, again another different sport, but give me some time here lah. So kalau kita tengok F1 punya like macam fan base and all this kind of thing, after Schumacher retired, to be fair, after Petronas also was not so big, I think a lot of people stopped, especially in Malaysia lah. Okay, but globally people stopped being interested, and then Drive to Survive happened on Netflix. Suddenly, you will not believe the impact that it had. Lah. I mean, in America, F1 struggled to crack America for decades. And with one show, which, to be very honest with you, is not that it's not that representative of Formula One, It is dramatized. It's not that real, but it is so entertaining that people started watching. And I started watching. I hate Lewis Hamilton. I cannot stand watching him dominate, But I started watching F1 again because it was fun to see Gunther Steiner and all these kind of things, lah. So, okay, long story short is what I'm trying to say is the entertainment value has to be increased, and then you're going to see the ad space. Then you're going to see the fan base increase. For me, that was always why I couldn't really get into much of Malaysian football last time because it wasn't that really entertaining, lah. Of course, that it was very entertaining for a lot of people. I just couldn't get into it. Not trying to put anyone down, lah. So you know, um, if we can get our let's say our marketing, trying to look outside that football sphere, okay, maybe we could increase lah. Maybe we need more drama about football.
True, true.
Yeah, and Mr. Zah's comment on that is, bila lagi banyak team jadi kompetitif lah. Actually, yeah, 100% agree. Lagi banyak investment, 100% true. If JDT can go further in the ACF, pasti bertambah. I cannot agree with you more lah, bro. Sebab at the end of the day, ambil contoh diri saya sendiri lah. Kenapa saya sokong MU is because at that time they were winning, and also because David Beckham looked like a god lah. So I was like, wow, look at this guy with his long hair, scoring goals on the freaking halfway line. But kenapa banyak penyokong MU from our generation, from our age group, MU and Arsenal, is because they were kicking ass in that time on our TV. Kalau JDT and all these other teams start really kicking ass, they already are, to be very fair, then you're going to get more fans. Very, 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 very easy lah. And once more teams become competitive, they will then draw more investment. Because if I'm a corporate body, if I'm a commercial, if I'm anything lah, I'm any company kan, I nak support team yang menang because there's more eyeballs. So it's a cycle lah.
Yeah, and also one more thing I would like to add on. Just like any businesses, obviously people want ROI, return of investment.
Betul.
But when it comes to Malaysian football, the return of investment, you cannot expect it to be happening immediately. That is one reality that we all have to face. Like in Parax's example, XOX, they know that reality. But people are supporting them because they have kind of saved the club from, a financial disaster and so on. So that is slowly building, but that has to continue. And XOX knows that if the team performs well, then it will come. So investment in the team unit and so on. But sometimes also you have to realize that football there is various ways of building a team. So some team they prefer to get immediate success, so they get the best place and then slowly they build their facilities. And some teams they want to build their facilities first and then bring in youngsters. So it's how the messaging is very important, how you convey to them. For me it's simple. People will follow you if you're honest, if you're transparent, if you're being not to say vocal also. Like you tell them, look, this is how I'm going to build the team. This is the project for the next 5 to 10 years. This is how it's going to be. People are going to be receptive of it. They're not going to say, oh, no way, you're not going to do this way. They will have opinions, but they will also hear you. So that is something that every single club in Asia should do so. JDT have said they are doing that by being honest and so on. They are doing it
Yeah.
in their own way, their own style. Okay,
Yes.
but every single club in Malaysia has to do that also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be. I mean, respond to the fans, talk to them, hear what they have to say, and so on. Macam mana nak improve? Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true. Investors also don't run away, but actually, some of these investors should, condone that. They allow that to happen.
Yeah.
So that is also going to be a problem. And I think in Malaysia, when it comes to football culture, we have not matured yet. People may want to bamboo me for saying that, but that is the reality. That is the reality. Our football culture needs a lot of work, needs a lot of, I give you an example. The national Harma Malaya football team, when they won the
Avi, hold
AFS,
on. Just give me 1 second. I need to go get a lozenge because my
okay, okay.
throat's give me a minute.
No problem. I'll wait for you to come, then I'll explain.
Hey, Avi, go on. Carry on.
Gee, you said
Carry
you want
on,
to take
carry on.
Los Angeles?
Yeah. No, you carry on. Let me go and get something in my throat.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in terms of investors are running away and so on, I think that is one thing that we have. Sorry, I was mentioning about football culture in Malaysia needs to be more mature, needs to be more you know diverse, needs to be engaging and so on. That is not happening here at the moment. I give you an example. When Malaysia won the AFF Suzuki Cup in 2010, everybody clamored to buy jerseys. At Nike, you can't even get a Malaysian jersey. That that was something monumental in our football culture. But then it dissipated because people, said Asia was losing games. They didn't qualify for the next round of the World Cup qualifiers and so on. So for me, when it comes to supporting a team, you must do it. I wish that everybody follows the team consistently for like throughout their lifetime. When that happens, then we will see changes in our football also. We need fans to be a bit more engaging in the sense that that is my team. I'm going to question them. I'm going to follow them for my whole life. I want to make sure they are transparent and accountable and see things happening in the right way. That's what happened in the UK.
Yeah.
That's what happened in the UK. So that has to happen here also for us to see changes in Malaysian football. I can see that happening now in Terengganu. I can see that in Kelantan. You don't need to talk about the stadium, the amount of people that comes to the stadium to watch Kelantan games in the past 2011, 12, 13, 14. And I'm aware that the current team is also, is bringing that element back into the game. So we need that happening in every club, in every this one. And clubs also have to improve their marketing. Lah. I have to say that also in terms of fans engagement with the fans, not just think about how am I going to appease my sponsors, think about how am I going to get more people to be part of this community that we call, let's say for example, uh, Petaling Jaya City Football Club. How they can be part of that, how they can contribute as a community. This is that is happening, but I don't see that you know I don't see that strong engagement yet. That has to be done as soon as possible, if you ask me. Potential is there. It's just that we need to have the willingness of, following these things wholeheartedly.
I have my lozenge, so there you go.
Feeling better?
Yeah, actually, it's weird, like guys. COVID is not fun. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know. The after effects is quite bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Logan's voice, in my opinion, it has changed. I
Maybe
don't know if it
maybe
sounds better or not, but
permanently.
it sounds different.
Probably not better. Yeah, interesting. And looking back at the replay just now,
Hmm.
I think that final dink pass really was very, very good. Looking
Which
at
one
it under pressure, I think it's
by
Sherman's pass, right?
Sherman's pass? You mean inside the box?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh wait, it was a dink pass. It wasn't deflected.
No, 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 no. I don't think it was deflected. Okay, the first one may have been deflected, the one where it came to him.
Hmm.
But after that, I think he dinked the ball through very nicely. I
Oh,
maybe the angle I've seen it wrongly, lah. But maybe our viewers can correct me. But either way, it's one of those games that are so tight that you can't really say one team has deserve. It's like you can't say Sabah does not deserve to be behind because it's a very tight match. You have to take your
it,
chances.
and towards the end, it was against the run of play also, right?
That's true. That's true.
So Sabah has to take responsibility in terms of their finishing, lah.
Yeah,
Today, I mean, the first half wasn't that great.
and it was a good finish as well.
Yeah. Maybe credit should be given to Kappa for being patient, for being calm inside the box with that pass.
Yeah, and also for many for finishing. My goodness, good finish.
I think Manio to me has been one of the standouts in the last 2 seasons.
Mm.
He's I think he's been a good signing for Terengganu this season. Like,
Mr. Za is asking on YouTube, what do you think about this season's Super League compared to last season, where only Terengganu and Kedah can challenge JDT? This season, we are seeing Sabah and Negeri also joining the fray. I mean, I think you can take the first stab at this. What do you think?
I don't know whether to say TFC, Kedah, Sabah, Negeri Sembilan are challenging JDT. JDT are a class on their own with the squad that they have and right now the position that they're in the league with games in hand.
Yes, games
They
in hand,
have
very
their
big.
games in hand. They have lots of points. They're unbeaten. They're still the strongest team. I mean, they are the strongest team in the Super League at the moment. No ifs or buts about it. And even in the game against Sabah, you know, I personally felt that Sabah could have done better in terms of their substitutions and how they performed in the second half. I was quite, uh, if I was a fan, I would be upset about it lah. But JDT stuck to their game plan, the belief, and they got what they deserved lah. I think that separates a top team and another team. That mindset, the mentality, and being able to fight till the end. Getting that 94th or 95th minute goal shows that they can win beautifully and they can also win it ugly. So they have that element, that viciousness within them, viciousness with them. So yeah, and but talking about the challenges, I think Sabah under coach Dato' Kimsi have looked pretty decent, pretty good start, pretty good position they're in the league at the moment. Terengganu slowly coming back after their early season jitters. Kedah is a team that many people have said that Ideal is not doing a good job. For me personally, I feel that Ideal is doing a good job with the squad that he has. One has to understand that a lot of big players have left Kedah. Two of them are playing for Sabah right now. These two are influential players for Kedah. So it's going to take time because whenever I spoke to the players in Kedah, the very mention of Badrul and Riza, they're like, we are still remedying their loss. They always say that. So, but Kedah fans, obviously they won success and all. But in the second window, they've made two good signings in Sanrawat Dechmitir and also Mahmoud Al Mardi. They may have shown their quality in the AFC Cup, but in the Malaysian Super League, I think we should give them one or two more games to truly see their, ability. And as for Negeri Sembilan, for me personally, Coach Devan is a tactician that is respected by many coaches in Malaysia. Like there was once I was watching a game in the media stands and these coaches who are doing the diploma license, they sat with us lah. And they said that Coach Devan is someone who is very meticulous, someone who is aware of many tactical shapes and elements. So you're seeing that in Negeri Sembilan right now, using the players' potential, using what he thinks is right against this team, he's doing that. The only thing right now that they really need to fix on is their finishing. They need to get goals lah. Because in terms of organization, they look pretty good. They look pretty decent. If they want to finish in a respectable position, they need to get the Brazilians scoring, Mateus and also Gustavo. So that is something that they need to work on. No, that was clear. Okay. So yeah, that's my take. What about you, Logan? I mean, this I would say this would be your first season watching the games from start to till
Yeah,
now.
yeah, for sure.
So, hmm,
um, I think actually I agree because it's interesting, how, as he said, lah, Sabah and Negeri have joined the fray. Whether they're actually challenging per se or not, maybe that's another step to go. But the fact that you've got more teams joining that fray and making it more competitive, it can only be good for the league.
hmm.
Because suddenly, I think I've said this many, many times, lah.
Competitive for the second spot.
Yeah, exactly. And that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, most fans are knowledgeable enough to know that JDT are probably going to walk the league. Lah. We understand that. That's fine. That's fine. They're doing it deservedly. They're doing it playing good football. So, okay. But for someone like, I mean, Sabah were in the doldrums for quite a long time. For them to be even challenging for second spot is very good. I'm sure Nagri feel the same way as well. The Nagri fans feel the same way. I'm sure, yeah, okay, Kedah has traditionally been, one of the challenges, but it's going to be a lot more interesting that there are more and more clubs. And the thing is, they're playing good football as well.
Yep.
There are a lot of good players. Of course, with Terengganu, we don't really know where they stand just because of the fixtures. Yeah, I know.
But wait, why didn't the referee immediately blow the whistle? And Rizal is still standing there like nothing happened to him. I fully escaped. Out of what? I don't know.
Must be the man bun, extra powers. Okay, so Holarin asked this question about is it
No, no,
possible
it's not
for the
happening.
national?
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
happening. It will not happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because
Yep.
yeah, Derry said that it's probably not
Number
happening.
one, even
Yeah.
if PSSI considers that, AFF will immediately step in and say no, don't, because that's where their revenue comes.
Mm. So okay. On that note, okay, I'm going to say early on, I don't know ASEAN. Derry is being so kind and polite, including me in this you guys thing. No, bro, I don't know that much about ASEAN football. I'll be very honest with you. Avi does, but putting him on the spotlight, can you do a starting 11 with Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia? The only non-Malaysian I can probably include is Iksan Fandi, lah. I probably say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That guy is. I don't know
Yes,
whether his brother you would include him or not.
Irfan Fandi.
Yeah,
But,
but yeah,
this is a very good question. Needs a
it
lot
is
of
right.
thinking. Yeah. But
But
wait,
should
this
yeah.
this one is current set of players, or it can be from the past as well.
I think Karan said lah. I mean, because if you expand it to previous players, I think how many thousands of players you want to look at it.
Okay, so wait, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia. Okay,
This may be
from
interesting. Maybe okay. How about maybe you do this for and create a first 11 that we can put up on Twitter and
Twitter, and then
talk
let
about
people
it.
answer that as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay, can no problem. But to answer his question, we shall do it lah, just for this lah.
sure. Why not?
Then we
Why not?
quote his tweet, and then we ask the question.
Because you sudah cabar Avi, so once
Tak
Avi is
cabar
challenged,
lah. I just
so
want to. Ini bukan challenge ke apa lah. Just mau share lah.
okay, okay. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay. Goalkeeper Hassan Sani, Singapore, because he has played for lots of Thai Indonesian clubs and he still plays for the Singapore national football team. I will never forget his performance last year against, if I'm not mistaken, Indonesia. That was, oh my god, I still can't forget about that performance. The amount of saves he pulled off, he was sent off, but people still praised him for that performance because he was a colossus. So yeah, Hassan Sani to me, he has been a consistent player for so many years. At the age of 38, still plays for a top club called Lion City Sailors. So yeah, Hassan Sani would be my preferred player in the goalkeeping spot. Defense, okay. My wing backs, left back would be Tiraton Bunmatan. Sorry, that's Thailand. My bad.
That's Thailand. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. My left back is like a left wing back lah. Pratama Arhan from Indonesia. He currently plays for Tokyo Verdy in the J League too, and yeah, I was really impressed with his performance.
So not
Uh,
Combino.
oh wow, you're putting me in the spot, yo. Wait. I think for right now it's Pratama Arhan. Then right back would be Matthew Davis because he has played in many ASEAN, Asian tournaments. He has been with Malaysia for quite a while and he's a reliable right back in my opinion. So he would be the one on the right. So it's Pratama Matthew as the wing back. So, we'll hit the pass. Center backs. Who should I pick? Uh, Shahrul Saad, one of the centre backs, and then
This is the Perak bias coming.
he started already lah. And then the other centre back would be. This is tough. It's between. You know what? I'm going to put him there, Haris Harun. Even though he's a defensive midfielder, but he has for Singapore he has shown his worth as a centre back, so I'm going to put him there. It was between him and Irfan Fandi, but I prefer Haris lah. And then my three midfielders. The pivots would be hmm
Shamir? No? Yes?
Shamir, yes.
Maybe?
No. Alfrenda Dewanga. He played for Indonesia in the AFF last year, sorry. He was really good lah. He was really good. He was the reason why they went all the way to the final also. So Alfiandra Devanga, and then his partner would be I think
Hmm.
Shami Kutiabda because of his performance in the qualifiers. I thought he was sensational. And my attacking midfielder. Wow, this is not going to be easy. Uh, Attacking midfielder.
You're getting some help.
Yeah, don't kacau. Okay, maybe I shall answer the front three first, lah. Okay, Iksan, number 9. No ifs or buts about it. Right wing, Arif Aiman. Arif Aiman is my right winger. So left wing, Witan Sulaiman plays for Indonesia. Attacking midfield now. Yo, one more spot I haven't answered. Who should I put? Wow, this is tough. Or should I put Witan Sulaiman? Okay, Witan Sulaiman as the playmaker. Left winger, who to put? Song Uyong plays for Singapore. He will be my left winger. Oh, Halarin already answered. Okay. Hassan Sani, Dion Cools. Oh, Elkan Bagot, who is playing a 3-5.
You know, right? Isn't it 4?
No, because I believe. Oh, he's 4. Then who is going to play as the. Oh, Dion Cools as the right back. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for me, Song Woo-young on the left. I think he's been pretty good for Singapore and Lion City Sailors. Arif Aiman, to me right now, is one of the best right wingers in ASEAN football. Asia, I don't know yet. If they beat Urawa Red Diamonds, then yes, he will be. If he performs in that game, then yes, he would be in the top right winger Asian bracket for sure. He must get passport first. He must play first.
Moving swiftly on. All right. Going back to some of the other hot takes that we got. This one is very interesting. From Lai Lai Pat Pong. Love the name. Morning kickoff can attract more crowds, tapi orang kita malas bangun pagi.
Actually, to answer, I want to answer the question differently, lah. Afternoon and evening kickoffs are being discussed for next season.
Surely not. How are we going to manage afternoon in this climate, lah?
3-4 o'clock.
3-4 o'clock.
It has happened, Waji. But I would say
Alright.
Champions League, they started the 5 p.m. kickoff. That is a good idea. I think that should happen in Malaysian football. Maybe we'll see bigger crowds. Those who go for workout, they'll go to the stadium.
What I would say is lah, okay, for me lah, I mean I don't know what you guys think about this, but morning kickoff kalau weekend boleh. Evening can. What I worry
No,
about is
for
ah,
weekdays, weekend. I mean weekdays. Yeah, you have the 9 games lah. Weekend morning, how G?
we
Is it
because okay,
happening is it happening in European countries?
no, I've never heard of a
To my knowledge,
morning.
no. Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard of a morning kickoff because I think even in the European leagues, in the English league, the worst they will do is probably a noon kickoff. You know, those are for the big matches, but those on Saturday, those are normally the big ones. You know, the early kickoffs. Because okay, even the Premier League, were if I'm not mistaken, one of the first to kind of recognize that they needed to do games based on their market, the television
Hmm.
market, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, now our viewer is talking about the crowds, not talking about TV lah. Okay, so if you do a morning kickoff, it can be something where you take the family to perhaps lah. You know,
5 days looks quite kind of a worry, lah.
oh yes, yes, yes. I think Stretcher is already out.
Yeah, it is out, but
Mm.
I thought it was just cramps or whatsoever, but I don't know what's happening. Hey, why they're not playing Faisal? Is it because he's injured?
Anyone knows? Please let us know. We don't.
Yeah, we don't as well.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Holarin says evening match. Great idea, actually. And yeah, it. I would say that morning would be just better than afternoon lah. Because for me, afternoon first of all, if you do it on the weekdays, everyone's working, so you're not going to get much crowd lah. If you're not working, I don't really know of many people who would be going to the stadium in the afternoon. So even if you're at home or thing, you won't go out in the afternoon lah. I think it's too hot
Mm,
lah. I don't know. It's just what I think lah.
yeah.
Morning kickoff memang susah lah. Morning match in tropical countries, like I think all of us have been in school and like youth kind of sports.
I will never forget when we had sports day. Oh, you.
I mean, how many times you will see people pensan during the march lah? Like
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just no lah. I
No, no.
Mm.
Remember Merdeka March Pass?
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Crazy.
Yeah, true. So on the other side of the coin, Shafiq Jamil, kickoff start pukul 7 malam.
Okay, boleh.
See, I
Tapi
think
yeah,
I think all right. I think
yeah,
all right.
okay. But also have to factor in the Sembayang times also lah.
That's very true. That's very true. And of course, I mean, 7 o'clock in East Malaysia, 7 o'clock is different from West Malaysia. I have to remember that. So it would be okay. I mean, okay, I have not been back home for at least 4 years, but as I remember, towards the end of the year, I think around 6:30 starts getting dark in the evening for Sabah. So yeah, no, still no problem. Not a big deal.
Hey, what's happening with this Terengganu team lah?
Dropping, huh?
Ah,
Lot of injuries. Sorry, if we seem to be not watching the match that much, it's just your questions are so
questions
fun.
are engaging. Yeah,
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
The
So,
game
so
is, to be honest, kind of bite like.
yeah, yeah. It's all right. It's all right. So Sabah
Oh,
also
Farhan
making a
Roslan
start.
is coming in. Winger. Your new signing.
Yes.
Here is another odd number situation. A winger wearing number 9. Just
Oh,
like GG's.
I did
Why?
not see that live. Oh, no, actually, Amria Yahya hit him with his boot accident.
Ah,
Yeah.
no wonder lah.
I wouldn't say it's a kick, but more like
Wait, when
accident.
Amria came in,
I think halftime. Halftime he came in.
who he replaced?
I
Gee, Embalo.
Yes, you're right. I think Mbalo is not there.
Was it because he's injured?
Good question. Oh, yo. That was nearly the Not the Cruyff turn, the Colin Kazim Richards turn. Was it Kazim Richards?
Yeah, Kazim Richards. I remember that
Yeah.
goal. He's still playing, huh?
Ah, yes, yes, yes. We used to have a centre back wearing number 9 for Penang. Yeah,
Who, huh?
fair enough. Joshua, please enlighten us. Who was it?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, man. Nice one.
Sometimes, with Armchair, he's capable of the,
Yeah,
stunners,
yeah.
magical things, and so on. But in that particular situation, maybe you should have just
Chi Wan Ho,
tried not to be audacious with it.
Penang's
What do you
longest
think?
serving captain.
Oh, Chivan
The
Ho won
number.
number 9. I didn't know. Wait, damn good player. Legend, Chivan Ho.
Yes.
No, I mean, speaking about Amre, the chance just
Yes.
now that came, don't you think that he should have, instead of trying to make that acrobatic kick, keep it simple?
But then again, if he took another touch, would the defender have closed in? That kind of thing. It wasn't that far off, lah.
Yeah. No, for me, it was like at that point of time, he could have just smashed it. It
Yeah.
looked like he tried to place it into this one. But
If
then,
Sabah lose
we are
this,
not on
they
the
will.
field.
Yeah, yeah. I
Not
mean,
on
you
the
know,
field. Yeah. So,
if Sabah lose this, they're gonna rule their finishing, lah.
yeah, true. I think a lot of chances today.
Derry asked, why did Sabah terminate Neto's contract? He's much better.
Boleh tanya
Um,
coach Dato' Ong Kim Swee.
yeah, I mean, I guess we have to give him time, lah. So far, a lot of people seem to be
Is very
asking this question.
convincing. No, okay, let me explain Neto's situation lah. Neto, when he came, he played the first game, and then after that he got injured, and his period of adaptation was pretty much affected because of that. So when he came back, people expected him to score goals, which he did. He did score goals, I think he scored 2 or 3 goals, but they weren't convinced with his commitment on the pitch. The
Hmm.
overall all-around play and all that. But one has to understand that he come. He this is the first time he's playing overseas. All these years he's been playing in Brazil. So I think that is one thing that we all need to think about. That's for me, football world. This thing that we're seeing, this so-called phenomenon, where a player comes, when he plays for a few months, and we only give him this amount of time to adapt. I think it doesn't feel right. Imagine a Malaysian player who goes overseas, and then that club insists that he must perform in 2 months. How we would feel. The club is being unreasonable. So the same thought process here for the foreigners who come play here also. They need time to adapt. That is something that I have. I'm not saying it openly lah, but now I'm saying it here. I think the amount of scrutiny that foreigners have in this country, when it comes to football, is crazy. Like a lot of questions would be raised. Some would say, after 2 games, they would say he's not good enough. You do not know what he went through before coming here, what he is going through when he comes here. Those kind of things. So yeah, no lah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, Holarin is a fellow East Malaysian. Oh, okay. It is kind of sad to see Sarawak right now. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Let's hope their issues, the financial issues, will be solved. And then, like I said just now, I don't know how many times I've said this. Management needs to be corporatized. Some of these archaic ways are not going to help. Even some of our players are comfortable with that manner where, a politician is running the club, he will pay the player like, okay, for example, you get a January salary and then you have to wait for 2, 3 months, then suddenly you will get everything in lump sum. And then the issue of double contract is also there. It happens. So these are the things that needs to be worked on. Lah. Like I said, it takes a lot of, it takes, I don't know what's the word. Lah. I don't know. It happens. So yeah.
On that note, we
Mm.
had another, kind of hot take Okay, from Hakim, who asks financial fair play. Any reality in this? This is fantastic question that applies, I think, Malaysia and probably otherwhere as well.
Yeah, I mean, this on this note, I mean, on this question that you asked, 2 3 years ago, La Liga actually came and suggested their financial system. I mean, their fair play financial system. I forgot what's it called, the exact term. Lah. It's a thing that they use for all La Liga clubs. You know the problem that Barcelona is going through right now. They cannot register some place. It's because of that system. They have an app to register. So that app was supposed to be brought to Malaysian football, was supposed to be implemented here. But because of COVID, it was stopped. And I did ask, whether it's going to be implemented again or not. This one I asked last year, if I'm not mistaken. So they said that, they want to get the league running first, and then we'll see what happens next. Yes, if you ask me, it is supposed to happen. It should happen. Maybe I'll ask that question tomorrow when I go for the extraordinary general, annual general meeting, AGM. So yeah, I think if you want to see, not to see a level playing field, people, clubs being financially responsible, financially competent, meaning you say they're able to balance the expenditure and revenue, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You will not be seeing players complaining about I'm not getting my salaries on time and so on. So it's a step that needs to be taken,
I personally love this question. It's something that it's very interesting, but at the same time, there are a lot of different strands to this question. So Amir said that ex-players with outstanding careers, except Zinedine Zidane, a good exception lah, are usually bad managers. Okay,
Mm.
i.e. Lampard and Gerrard.
Okay, Gerard's case,
Yeah,
he did well with Rangers. That was his first club.
yeah.
So I mean, Aston Villa this season, you must judge him this season because he got the players that he wanted. Not last season. I mean, last season, yeah, he got Coutinho and so on, but this is the season where you're supposed to judge him. As for Lampard,
1-1.
uh,
Sorry,
sorry, 1-1.
Patesu has continued his.
Gee, this Patesu, gee, I don't know how he gets to. I don't know
Forget
where he
three
comes.
lungs spark. Forget 3 lungs spark. It's 3 goals spark. You heard it here first.
He is at the unlikeliest of places. Gee, he was at the
Right,
near
right.
post.
He's in the. The best part is he doesn't seem to care. He's just laughing about. Ayo, the faintest of touches.
Saya buat ini macam saja.
No, but I mean, to be fair, you predicted it lah by saying that the set pieces.
Hmm.
Was that him fight? Okay, definitely the keeper's final touch. Did he take another touch before it reached the keeper? Maybe not.
No, it was him.
It was him. It's
The
definitely.
faintest of touches, actually.
But he headed it into the ground, which is what they
Yeah, he did.
always say,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Headed into the ground in you. Yeah.
No, one thing. This is my take on Park. 5 goals in 11 games for a defensive midfielder is a very good return. But you see, when Park Tae-soo, he always surprises me. Suddenly he scores a wonder goal. Suddenly he scores a goal out of the blues, just like that. But I would say, like in football statistical terms, his XG must be like really high. I don't know what to say.
Yes.
Suddenly out of nowhere he scores.
We need to keep him. Sabah needs to keep him because, again, a league campaign is about consistency. This game,
For your information, earlier this season, they were. I mean, there were
close.
rumors that he was not going to stay.
Thank God it
So
wasn't true.
he's proving his worth now.
Yeah. But Wilson seems to have picked up a knock as well.
Ayyo. How bad it. I think he'll shake it off.
Yeah. Hope so. Hope so. So back to Amir's question just now. So the managers, right? So they steal a living because of public buyers bragging of their old glory days. And I could not shorten this anymore. Okay, but in truth, are incompetent, rigid, tactical dinosaurs.
What's with the Jordan?
Okay, so this was a reminder to myself because I wanted to bring this up. Okay, this is again. I'm very sorry because I keep bringing up basketball into this but
G, don't
hmm.
need to say sorry, G. Analogies are fine, G. Just
Yeah.
continue. Oh, yo.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll give two
Mm.
examples. Like, okay, one is Michael Jordan. One was Diego Maradona. Rest in peace.
Mm, mm.
Uh, Fantastic players. Dominant play. Arguably, they're goats lah. I mean, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. I think no argument there. Maradona, maybe it's between him, Pele, Messi. You
And
don't know lah. That
see,
one can argue lah. But they were not good.
Ronaldo,
I wouldn't say Ronaldo's a goat.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, no, I won't say that. But that's another question for later, by the way.
You are
Okay,
going to offend John Bunny and Moses. I
never mind.
hope
It's
he's
not, it's not like
watching
he's
this part.
watching. Are you watching Benny? You're not, so it doesn't
I
matter.
will WhatsApp him.
No, but okay. Here's the thing about those guys, right? So there's this theory that because they are so good at what they do, they are not able to train. They are not able to coach other players who don't have the abilities they have.
Mm,
For instance, like if anyone has watched The Last Dance, right? Michael
yeah.
Jordan is almost like a psychopath in the way he trains, his dedication. Not any other athletes can do that. Not many other athletes can do that really. But he would expect that. So that's why now he's the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and they've never been a very good team at all. And it's the same with
Mm.
Maradona. Maradona was not a great manager. We have to wait and see how Lampard and Gerrard.
In
Um,
Maradona's case, I would say that I was watching this one show on Netflix
mm,
when he was coaching this club called Sinaloa uh, Dorados. It's
right,
a second division club in the Mexican League. At
right,
that point of time, he wasn't really coaching them. It was all about man management. His job was
yeah,
to push the players, motivate the players, encourage the players, and use his charisma to
mm,
lead them to wins or all that. When it comes to tactics, he relied on his assistant coaches. The next season he didn't do well, but and then after that he had to go back to Argentina to
right,
do some kind of op. He was not feeling well. So
yes,
and
yes,
even when he took over Argentina in the was it 2010 or 2006? 2010 World Cup, right?
10.
10. So when they played against Serbia, they were playing scintillating football.
Mm.
But when they entered the group stage, I mean the knockout stages, they lost. So sometimes, you question whether these players have the tactical nous or not. So when I watched that Sinaloa documentary, that's when I realized this guy is a man manager, not really a tactical marvel. Whereas in
And
Zidane's case, he came up the system. He was coaching the
yes,
juveniles, and then after that, he went to the Castilla, Real Madrid. Castilla, wait, was it the second division team?
Castilla, right?
Castilla, sorry, Castilla, and then he went to the first division. Yeah, no, no, no. We are not missing important ones. I am watching. I am watching. Don't worry.
We are watching. We are
Yeah,
watching.
we are watching. We are
Don't
watching.
worry.
Don't worry. My eyes are there. My mouth is here. So yeah, I mean,
Ridiculous handball, by the way. Rizal Ghazali.
and
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, in Frank Lampard's case, people say that he's not the right fit for Everton, but we shall see this season because at the end of the day, the owners of Everton would say he saved us from relegation. That's his KPI, ma. So he made it
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
lah. So this season, we can value how they were to coach the clubs and so on. Public bias. I understand why that conversation is going on because recently Jack Wilshere was hired as the Arsenal under 18 coach, and
Mm,
I had this thought, Arsenal, they've got academy coaches, and these academy coaches would have, tried for that position, but instead they took a former player instead of looking at
mm.
the other coaches in their disposal. So there is also that question because of his name, he was signed as an under 18 coach. But then I was listening to this podcast by David Onstein where he was explaining, no, sorry, Andrew Clark, my bad. Is this podcast called Hendrix.
Oh, another set piece. Is it him again? Oh my God, it's him again. And the camera goes to the same section of fans again. This header is much better. Oh my, what a header this was. Man.
And you said they were going to lose.
Yeah, I said 2-1, right?
Yeah, you said Terengganu 2-1.
Yeah, you didn't make a prediction, so.
I because after that I told you
Ah,
why. I mean, I didn't make a prediction, but I did say,
yeah.
do not underestimate Sabah at home and Terenggano's away from is,
Oh,
like Tai Kuching. Lah.
that's a fantastic header.
Okay, Logan, what's your take on Park Tae-soo this season?
Okay, so in his position, he's been quite solid. I
Okay.
think very solid. But this is like an extra bonus, lah. Like
His goal scoring, huh?
yeah. I mean, incredible, right? From that position, he's won the game. I mean, so far
He could be
he's
the
turned
game.
yeah, it could be the game winner from 2 set pieces. And here's the thing: not all of his goals have been from set pieces either. Isn't it?
Yeah, last season he had that amazing free kick.
Yeah,
This season,
exactly.
free kicks and
The
volleys and so
GDP one wasn't a set piece, was it? Was it a
on. No,
loose
no, no. It's
ball?
a volley.
Yeah, it was a
Half
volley
volley.
that came. Yeah. Is that a bat? Oh no, it's just a. It's one of those
It's a
giant moths.
butterfly G.
No, I
Oh,
don't know.
Mata.
It's one of those big moths. It's not. That's not a. But you know that butterflies, they're like black and white, and then they've got
Yeah. There's that
that
huge
little.
butterfly. Isn't
Yeah,
it
yeah.
that?
No, but that's not a butterfly. That's a moth.
Oh, I mean, you should
I,
know better because it's in Kota Kinabalu.
okay, that makes no sense at all. How would I?
No,
Why would?
no.
As if the
No,
moth
G,
is
because
only in Kota
no,
Kinabalu.
G. In my neighborhood here in Pinchalam,
Ah.
that thing is not a moth. That's a butterfly. That's why I say it's a butterfly.
If anyone
Butterfly also
here
got
in the
big one,
comments,
what?
no, I know, but I think that's a moth because it's like hairy.
How do you know it's hairy when it's like?
No, okay. If it's the moth I'm thinking of,
Okay, fine. We'll
Mister
see it
Mister
again
Zah is
later.
going to be
And
very upset with this. Will you
what?
guys shut up about butterflies? No, right? It might be-
Blame Logan. I
right,
was
fair
asking
enough.
him about Park Tae-soo and he was talking about moth got all.
No, I thought it was a bat. Anyways. Okay, but
This one, Diego Maradona not choosing Zanetti for the World Cup. You know what? I
yeah,
was upset he wasn't selected for the 2000 and 2014 World Cup. No,
yeah,
2006 World Cup. He played only in 1998 and 2002.
yeah.
Will you guys do watch along live for upcoming World Cup match? Yes, that is in the pipeline.
100%. Yes.
Yep.
In fact, we view this as our warm up because we are
Mm.
definitely doing World Cup. For World Cup, we may like even invite some of you guys to join us lah.
Mm.
Because this one, I had it. Okay, sorry. Okay, Sherman nearly equalized that. Yeah,
He was off.
he was off. Yeah, because I mean, when it comes to Super League, we know some of you guys at the stadium, but I don't think many of us are going to Qatar. Present
I
company
am.
excluded. There you go. Yeah, see. So Mr. Kayangan will be going to Qatar.
I am not Kayangan. Okay, save money for this man. So once
Okay,
in
all
a
right,
lifetime.
all right. So he's going to Qatar, but we will be doing watch-alongs lah. Yeah, definitely we'll be doing watch-alongs for World Cup matches, and we'll be shouting a lot more lah. Mr. Zah asks, okay, what do you think about Sherman and Kipre Terengganu this season? Avi, what do you think? I'll be honest, I haven't watched them that much to give a proper opinion.
Okay, one would question that their goal tally has not improved. I mean, not to say it's not improved, but it isn't as good as they did in Kedah and so on. Lah. So, if you ask me, Terengganu system, the way they play, it's all about possession, pressing, and so on. Kepa Sherman is a finisher, someone who holds up the ball well, and yeah, when you give him service, he scores lah. And I think he has done well for Terengganu this season. Kepa. As for Kipre, um, this man, if you ask me, like at the age of 34, still able to come up with those kind of performances, it's amazing. But this season, his finishing has been a little off. So that is why I believe Petro Shitembi came into the setup because they needed someone who can make more final passes instead of relying on Faisal, Many, and so on. And I was also told that Cheche is injured now. So maybe, who knows, after he recovers fully, he'll be back to the Cheche that we all know. Because to me, he is one of the best strikers in the M League. I mean, for him to stay for 4 5 seasons and to perform consistently well, and one has to understand that keeper is not just a goal scorer. If you look at his all-around play, his runs on the wings and then his reading of the game, is amazing. Is amazing, the movement and everything. So yeah, he will bounce back. These kind of players, so they will have their moments where they want to forget, but they will bounce back.
So heading back very quickly, just so we can kind of finish off. We've got around 6 minutes plus extra time
Hmm.
there. Okay. From Chua Chui Chio. Love the name. Love the name. Love the comment. Thomas Muller better than Messi and Ronaldo. Both overrated. Okay.
Logan, you answer the question first.
Can I agree with one part of the thing? I agree that perhaps they are a bit over. I mean, see,
What's Amri here doing? Seriously?
I don't know.
You still have 5 minutes left. Idiot, no. If I was the defender, I would just whack his head.
This is called gamesmanship. He's purposely making
Wait,
them angry.
85th minute.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
it
yeah.
at the
You start.
90th minute. La.
No, you start early, get them angry, get them emotional. Again, they will make mistakes. So it's all part of the plan. L plan. Anyways,
Hmm.
okay, better than Messi and Ronaldo. Objectively, no lah. There is no. I mean, he is underrated. I will say he's
Hmm.
underrated. Are both of them overrated? Okay, for me, right, as painful as it is, I would say Messi is better than Ronaldo. I would say Messi is better than Maradona. Uh, I never saw Pele. I don't know. Joshua said Chua gone mad. I mean, I don't know. Um, no lah. I mean, well, we asked for controversial hot takes.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
we
the
got
best
one.
hot take of all lah. This is
Hmm.
yeah, it's fantastic, man. Avi, what do you think? I mean,
No, Ronaldo and Messi, they are not overrated. La. I mean, I rate Messi higher than Ronaldo.
yeah, I agree.
Uh, for me, Messi is magical. Ronaldo is, the embodiment of, working hard, keeping your body in shape, and his desire, his ego to be one of the best players in the world has led him to this stage, to the state that he's in right now. The number of goals and so on. That is something that not many players can replicate. What he has done, the numbers and the way he's carried himself in the game is among sensational. No doubts about it. Thomas Muller, I'll be fair. Let me give my take on Thomas Muller. La. People call him gangly, clumsy, someone that just relies on technique. But for Bayern, the number of years he has served for them and the number of games he has played, the intelligence he has is underrated, criminally underrated. So I wouldn't say he is better than Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, but if you were to put him amongst the legends of the game, he is there. He is up there. He won the World Cup, and now he has a chance to. He still plays for Germany, so who knows? He might aim for the Euro one last time with the young German players that are up and coming. He could be the leader in that setup, and he is a leader. So yeah, I mean,
All I'll say about
it's
Thomas Muller
for
is that a person with that little athleticism
mm,
to be a footballer for that long in that level
is
at
yeah
that level, incredible. Thomas
incredible.
Muller is yeah, yeah. This is an interesting point of view, because Pele, I think Holarin puts it perfectly. As he said before, as Pele has said before, he has scored 1,000 goals lah. So Pele is better, and I think that's the only question I really have, whether it's Pele or Messi lah. Also, for the World Cups he's won, I don't know. Has he scored
Actually,
that many
Pele, I
goals?
never really
There isn't
rated him for
footage
his
of him.
goals.
Yeah,
I've never rated him for his goals, but the fact that he won the World Cup twice with Brazil, and those two, one is an 18-year-old, one is an experienced player, I thought that was, a legendary thing to do. Lah. So I didn't really look at his goals because for me, yeah, goals are a factor, but you also see the trophies, how they impacted the game, their influence in the game. That is why Ronaldo, Messi, Pele, Maradona are always,
yeah, yeah.
in that good conversation.
And he won it in Sweden, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, just checking. The
Eh,
52 World Cup, right? I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. Was it 52? No, no. Was it
58.
52? 58. Yeah, no, 5-2 was the score, right?
Mm.
Oh, Joshua, Messi can score. Look,
Ayo,
watching.
Benny Mercedes, man.
I don't know. I mean, can't really argue much, given what
To
he's
be
been
fair,
doing
you
in the
can't
last
argue
few years.
much. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The
Even
blunder,
now,
the
also, he's looking to leave United, saying they wants to play Champions League football. I don't know.
ooh, okay, my goodness, that tackle. All right.
You thank God he escaped the tackle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and also that he missed that tackle.
Who was that? Nazir al Naim. Oh my God, Taiki.
Stop diving in, you idiots! Oh my god, why are they diving in like that?
Who was that? Tesu.
This is like. Sorry, idiots is probably a strong word. This is a bit emotional. Yeah, but why are you diving in? So I think it would be a good time to bring up, I think, our final hot take. Lah. So a bit of background here. Okay, wait as they cry and clear the corner. Nice one, Amri. Yeah. Okay. Get it out. Just throw it forward. Oh, for God's sake.
Ayo,
Right.
Kagayama.
As I try to put two eyes in two different places. Okay.
Ah,
Shuhada is a friend from our university days. Yeah. Very, very knowledgeable on football, especially women's football.
women's football. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We really enjoy her takes on women's World Cup. I mean, sorry, the women's Euros
Euros.
which are going on
Mm.
now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so Shuhada, we asked for controversial thing lah. This is not controversial lah. We
This
all
is this is not controversial. This is a
no,
fact.
of course we're not going to
No,
win
this
the
is a
World Cup.
fact.
Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah. They're not going to win. They'll go till the final and then lose.
no, they are not going to reach the final. Not going to reach it. Yeah, exactly. So we're having a little university reunion here. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, but yeah, there is as an England fan, I knew that. I think the reason why I was so upset about the Italy game was I knew that was the chance.
What was Pape Diakite doing?
I don't know what the
Aduh,
hell.
unnecessary lah.
Was it as necessary as Rizal's handball? Just now? Don't know what was that all about. Yeah, but I mean, there's no way. Lah. Okay, the England women's team, maybe yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to a podcast done by the Athletic, and they were talking about England's campaign. 14 goals, none considered crazy. But
Yeah.
this is also the beauty of tournament football. Some teams they pick in the group stages. Once they enter the knockout stages, things would change. And I think Spain
Mm.
did say that they are not fearful of England. So that would be an interesting proposition, interesting to watch. And I
Mm.
was and Denmark. I mean, sorry, Denmark, Netherlands were the favorites, but then they had few COVID cases, injuries, and so on.
Yeah.
So that really affected them also. They were one of the favorites. But I think, yeah, England looks strong. Who knows? They might.
I I
Hmm.
think, right, one of the biggest mistakes as football fans that we make when we watch the World Cup, we all underestimate the luck of the draw
Hmm.
and the passage that you get. England's passage through the Euros was very, very good. We for once, normally England always will meet some sort of a terrible team halfway through, lah. Okay, this time around we had Germany. Once we hit Germany, which was, I mean, to be fair, if Muller had scored that, maybe we would have lost. You know. Okay, wait. Oh, I can't even talk about England, lah. So close to just. Interesting
Is the
Sabah
referee
guys. Oh.
serious? Is the referee serious? That is Terengganu throwing.
What is he seeing? What is he looking at? Oh no! I think he. I think the
Yeah,
last touch was no.
last touch was Farhan.
Oh, is it okay? No, Rizal Ghazali looks like he's stretched off now.
Today Sabah's physio overtime, huh?
Overtime, lah.
As long as Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, Garrett's gameplay is disgusting. Okay, I agree with you guys. It's not entertaining at all. But I do feel that for tournament football, it has been
Yes.
proven to work, lah.
Work.
Unfortunately,
Yep.
it works. It sucks, but it works. At
Remember
the end of the
France
day,
in 2018 World Cup?
yeah, exactly. And we are blessed with a certain type of player, but we are not blessed with a lot of speed up front class. So, if we had Kylian Mbappe, maybe,
Wait, there
maybe.
is no speed up front. What about Sterling, man?
No, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the nine, like Kane.
Oh, okay, okay.
I sorry. I mean,
Oh,
you are right, of course, but I kind of viewed wingers as not like up front. I guess. Anyways, no, Sterling is fine. Sterling was very good throughout the World Cup. I think he played really well. Yeah, but I don't think England are going to get an easy passage. So yeah, Mr. Zah, out of topic. I did not expect the under-19s to win
no,
the
I
Euro.
mean, look, nobody expected England to go all the way to the final of the Euros, but they did. You know why? Because of their tactics or the way I mean, their style of play. Because that
Ooh, good
suits
shot.
tournament football. You
Yeah,
echo out results. So the same thing happened with the under 19 squad. That's how Hassan Sazali Varas works. Oh my god, that was saved. Okay.
that's hopeful shot,
So
lah.
yeah, and also some of the at the moment, I'll be honest with you, I did not receive such update. Or I've not heard any of that of those kind of updates. So if they are selected, I personally would be surprised because number one, they are young, and number two, they
Yes.
are not getting regular minutes in the local league. They're getting in the Premier League, lah. That's it. So for you to select players from there without even watching some of the players who are playing in the league, giving the 101% in every game, it's, I think, I don't know what to say lah. I mean, people already know my thoughts on how Coach Kimpang was the selection, but yeah, I mean, he has the results are there. We have got to the Asian Cup, but still, yeah, I question some of the selections now.
Mhm. So we have wrapped up the game. So Sabah have
Hmm.
managed to win
One.
this, lah. Yeah.
By the way, Jackson's injury looks bad. He had to use
Yes.
Tomcat. You see, he's used catches. I would listen. I would blame Terengganu. They didn't build on that lead. They should have continued attacking.
And to be fair, yeah, lah, they didn't really
They
press
didn't
in the
really
way that
press it. Yeah,
the way we expected. But yeah, in the end, it was two set piece goals, right?
yeah.
I
Two
think I
set.
just saw Faisal on the bench.
Pateso! Yeah,
Did he
Faisal
just?
was. But
He's.
somebody just mentioned just now that he was injured before kickoff.
Oh, maybe lah, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is what championships are made of. uh, I think we've been on for 2 hours, 15
Yeah,
minutes.
2 hours,
This was a
15 minutes.
really, really fun
Yeah,
time. We had
fun
a
time.
real blast. Holarin, brother, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Olarin. Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate all your questions, whether you gave it live, whether you gave it earlier to us. We had a lot of fun. We will probably be doing this again, lah. So yeah, keep
You
your
know what? I'm
questions
going to
and
make it. I
yeah,
hope one day we get to speak to Pak Tesu.
Can. And I think his Sabahan is very good, so we can maybe just talk in
Yeah,
Malay the whole time.
Malay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
not?
You know, he prefers
Yeah.
Malay. Whenever I interview him,
Hmm.
boleh cakap Melayu ka.
Okay. Chun. Perfect. This
So
sounds
I'll
very
ask
good.
him
I would
one day if
love to
he's
talk to
okay.
this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So stay tuned. No promises, but we are going to bring back more guests
Watch-alongs.
and
I think
yeah, watch
watch-alongs have
along
been
as
good
well.
for us. We will continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep watching, keep following us. Tell your friends about us as well.
Yes, please do.
Please do.
We
Okay,
have.
so while
I think
yeah.
we've got 302 subscribers on YouTube. In YouTube.
Yes, around there. We
Let's hope
broke
it
300.
increases in the future. Yeah, let's hope
Yeah,
it
we broke
increases.
400.
Goes up,
Yeah, we
up,
broke
up.
400 on Twitter as well. So yeah, lah, it's a little bit, but every little helps, lah. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
every
to
little.
everyone. Okay, so while my voice is still here, I'll say good night. Avi, thanks a lot.
Thank you, G. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Yes, good night,
You rest
everyone.
well.
Bye bye.
Bye.